Wow. That was such a powerful opening. Tozani, Makosi, Chovela Ralocha, Liseti Khanya, Kamakwini Lapikaya. Once again, my name is Gogo Dineo, and this has been a long awaited conversation on the significance of music, drumming, dancing in African spirituality. And I know most people normally would associate this to ubungoma, because vele we are birthed through the calling of being healers, through these instruments and through the melodies and the sounds that you just heard. It brings about the great aspects of ourselves that are not physical. So it really helps us travel and transcend from a physical plane into a spiritual plane. Thank you, Sia. So please, as usual, I always say this, Uguti, these conversations with Gogo Dineo are not conversations that are diagnostic. They are not conversations that are prescriptive. They are not conversations that are converting anyone into anything. But they are basically conversations that are helping plant seeds and really enrich understanding of who we are as Africans and our African identity. And we have different types of conversations throughout every month. And I'm noticing that it will probably be the last Tuesday of the month. You know, it synchronizes with the last Tuesday of the month on the Fresh Breakfast Show, and then the last Thursday of the month. Once a month we'll have these conversations, and we are dual streaming on Instagram and on Facebook. So give us a wave, a sound, a dance move to hear, say good to you are hearing and you are loving these conversations, and also give us a song. Nishilo, last time we got DJ Bags on the decks, you know, along with DJ Spooder on the decks, and we've got on the drums, we got bongs, and we've got clans, and we've got dance. You know, we've got a wonderful team of people who are drumming for us, and then we've got the Gogos and the Mkulis who are part of the institute and the space, you know, to create an experience. And it's gonna be also talking, but also singing it along, because that's the only way we can actually make sure that the message in which we are imparting tonight stays within you. It lives in you as we speak about the significance of how music and drumming, it's very healing. You know, it's a method of healing. It's a form of healing for us as Africans. So what better way to speak about it than to actually experience it? So if there's a special song that you know, it doesn't mean we will know, because we don't know all the songs. Remember, we're not like a traditional healers orchestra. We're not a representation as well of, you know, the spectrum and the diversity of ubungoma. Like I always explain, so I would know those songs very well. Yeah, maybe even if because we need to understand we are all advocated, you know, ancestors and angels who are spiritual guides that can guide us in this world as spiritual beings having a human experience, because it's such a complex thing to navigate around. So these guides are there to actually help us be guided as we move on the path towards why we are here, because we are all here because we are called to be here. We all have divine purposes, and sometimes all it needs to take is to awaken, you know, your call through the beat of the drum, because by the beat of the drum something inside you opens up. It's the same rhythm of as your heartbeat. And what song does, it gives words to what you are feeling, but you have no, you know, you have no way of expressing or articulating the depth of what you are experiencing, because the call is so strong. And what the dance does is that it helps you actually release the things, and it says, I let go of my egotistic ways which are limiting me to radiate in my power and my divinity as the one who is called to walk this time on this planet, on this earth. Therefore, through dancing, I can surrender. Through dancing, I can, you know, let go and forget I'm a man, I'm a woman. I can just be a divine being, floating and flowing in this rhythm of music and dance. So that's what's gonna happen here. So some people have already asked for song dedications, and like in Shiloh, there's different songs. We'll sing different types of songs. So if you send it to us and we don't know it, you know, maybe by your lucky chance we can say accept for you to be part of the stream and then sing it with us, but we'll see, because sometimes it might get complicated. So please give us a shout out. I've got my video people, I've got Gangster on the other side, and I've got Sam's on the other side, you know. So are people saying they hear, they're hearing, and they seeing, and they're experiencing, and yeah, you know. And even my own explanation is not the ultimate explanation. I always say I'm not an expert. I teach from my experiences. This work is my life. This calling is my life. It's not a job I do. It's a living I'm part of. It's a way of life for me, and I'm immense in it, and I'm passionate about it, and I love it, and I live it in the best way and best form I can actually live within these times, and within this, you know, this times as in the 21st century. So I think I want to begin with a song that let a lot of people want to be excited, and it's by DJ Spuda. I mean, we say that to add an element of humor to this conversation, because humor is also healing, you know, to have a little chuckle where you are as you're feeling the songs, and you're feeling your tears coming out, and you're feeling goosebumps really taking you and elevating you to the next level. Sometimes to come back and realize that you're still alive, you're not gone, you didn't go into a trance and disappear. A little joke and say, oh, I'm still here, I'm still breathing, you know. So it's Busiso's favorite song, and it's one of my favorite songs. It's called Lentuzan Angizenzelanga Itonga Lami Latin Twase. Angizenzelanga Itonga Lam Latin Twase. It wasn't my wish, nor my hope, nor my aspiration, but it was by the will and the calling of my ancestors that I had to walk the journey, you know, of becoming Umgoma. So it speaks to many of us who know what it takes for one to surrender and give themselves and of themselves into this calling. So, Sbuda? This song, when I first heard it, I was overcome by emotions because I also knew that it wasn't an aspiration. Getting hambe ngiyotwasa ngiyothatha ikhwama zabo khokho nokhokho mkhulu basekhaya. And when Spusiso sings it, Spusiso is my firstborn son. I'm a mother of 4 amazing, beautiful, gifted children. And when Spusiso sings it, it actually takes me back to the driving force that led me to take up this gift. Because babalegi labanye kaya, and when it came to me and the lady I was working with at the time told me a story about how she lost all her 4 children before I put and said, when you say to abantwana bakho bangani, sometimes they're like, oh, so this is a hindrance, so you actually wanting to do this, but this is a hindrance, so let's get rid of the hindrance so you have no hindrances anymore. And that for me was unbearable as a mother. I can lose my children, and not necessarily meaning I lose them or lose, but I didn't want to lose them in any form or any shape. For any mother, you know what that does to your sacredness, to the sacred womb in which that carries these beings and these divine, people who have come to gift us to awaken to ourselves, and that's what children are. Because, had it not been for my children, I don't know if I would have been motivated to twasa, I would have been motivated to put in Khalipechin, because even when the tough was getting going and it was getting rough, and all the things that you are used to, you have to unlearn. But every time I thought of my kids, they were my motivation, right? And I also honestly didn't want them to go through this process because I've taken it, but it's very clear, Guti, my kids are all gifted, and the gift of me having to go through the process as the mother, I can actually support them. And that's the power of music, that's the power of drumming and dancing, because what it does, that it offers spirit some form of nourishment, of food, that, if umntwana onespiwo umbona ase zangomeni or ebangomeni la kuhlala khona isigubhu, it feeds something in the spirit, and when the spirit is fed, it is easy to bargain with it, to say ngicela isikhathi usasemncane, but something needs to be fed, because alivali ihlozi. I mean, this is not a pot where you just close it off, but liyancengwa, and you can ask for them to give that child's time a little bit. But as parents of parenting gifted children, or people who called kindred spirits or people kids, is how do we support our children in their gifts and not make it be something a strange or a demonic. My parents didn't understand what was happening with me, but I remember when school was 7 years old and I just came back because I went to school was 5. And at 7, I think it was 2 years into me coming back home, and he would sit and stare at the wall like this, and would say, I'm like, what's going on? It's mommy, I see lions. I'm like, what do they want? Talk to them. So because it took me back to when I experienced peculiar things and no one can express or explain to me what was going on. Instead, it was made a mediocre, or it was mislabeled as so many other things, and I grew up as a child feeling I don't belong, I'm misplaced, what is wrong with me, I am cuckoos, I am bananas, I am just mentally unwell. So it's very important as parents that we understand this journey, because some of you are probably tuning in and you are not the ones who are called to walk this journey. Maybe your sister is, maybe your brother is, maybe your child is. So how do you feed them through music and dance? It is a nurturing thing, because music speaks to our soul, drumming speaks, it evokes something in us that alone in this physical plane we cannot really be carried. We need to be carried by the sound waves, because you should hear the sound of the drum vibrates at a higher vibrational frequency, and that frequency is God's frequency. That frequency is a cosmic frequency. That frequency is a frequency in which those who have walked this journey before us, our ancestors, actually are placed in. So by drumming and singing and doing music, we are actually connecting to the cosmos. And when we connected to the cosmos, we then realize that us and them are not separate. Therefore, we're not held at hostage by them. We are actually one in co-creating a better world by all of us embracing why we have been called to walk the planet on this time and in this moment. So do we have questions or requests?
A lot
of questions or requests.
Requests.
Gogo Thelma, utela ulwandle.
Okay, there's a lot of Ulwandle song, right? There's Batitoni Panulonle. you know the songs in which we sing, and even the way the rhythms and the beats of the drums, you know, synchronized to the song, because you could actually feel the waves of the ocean, you know, speaking through this music sounds that we are actually, you know, doing today as we sing the song of Ukronipa Ilwandle. And they tell stories, you know, they teach us how to be one in the presence of God in nature. Because if you hear the song Kronipa Ilwandle, it tells us that as Africans, actually, how we work with God is not the God who only resides in the skies, but we see God in every divine thing that has been created. We actually see Creator elwandle. Yikho ngesintu sethu ngeke uziphonsele elwandle without throwing in coins, you know, to ask for permission, because you understand that those sacred spaces have divine beings that reside in them. So as we enter, siyakhulekela. That's why we started ngengoma yokukhulekela. So mawufaka imali emhlophe uyakhulekela, and you say, let as I enter into those oceans, that the waves wash away all that no longer serves me and bring me forward blessings as I ask. Right? So uhlonipha ulwandle is to do that, and to know ukuthi also there are times when you don't just go ulwandle, when the waves are raging or the waves are high, you know. So you awusiphonseli phela thina, we don't just go emalwandle for swimmings and fun. We go because we understand that it brings us closer to God, and when we are closer to God, we are closer to manifestation, and when we are closer to manifestation, we are closer to creation and creating and blessings. We understand those things, and music tell those stories. As Africans, our stories are passed on through orally, and some of these songs, they speak a lot. If you listen, but uma ujulele ingoma, we are not here as a choir or an orchestra. No, we are here also tapping into our own tapestries and own voices. That through our own voices we can invite Asian spirits to come forward. Because mina ngiyazi ukuthi ngipimbi, but mengicula I get goosebumps, because it means a part of me, an egotistic part of me, just steps aside for a moment, and the divine in me walks forward, and I know that I am possible. I am actually the best singer, dancer, drummer that, you know, in the world, in that moment of me busting out in song. And that's what music and dance does for you. It brings the best aspects of you. Nothing seems to exist except this time, this moment, and this space, and that's where power of creation lies in. What's the next song request?
Song request, it says ngihawukele thonga lami.
Hawukele thonga lami, 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 womina ngizenza, wobaba ngizenza, yenziwa ngabale, thonga lami, thonga lami, wobaba thonga lami, wobodo thonga lami, thonga lami, thonga lami, wobaba thonga
show your mercy because I don't understand what is going on as everything is falling apart, irrespective of what I am trying to do. May you show mercy. May you show mercy and may the world show mercy upon me because angizenzanga. May the world show mercy upon me because angizenzisi. May the world show mercy upon me because angizenzi inhlekisa. May the world show mercy upon me for I am not seeking attention just because I want to show off. I am seeking attention because how I am being, it's really suffocating me. If only somebody can hear my cries and my prayers and show me what is it I need to do, because schools don't teach us these things. Esikolweni asifundi ngokuphahla, asifundi about the significance of amadlozi wethu. We don't learn those things. So when you are at school and then you are busy collapsing and you can't see the chalkboard, or they're teaching you but you are not in, when those things are happening to you, when I was at school and I was told good I'm in that case and you're busy, I'm telling tables and scaring all the kids, I will say, can somebody actually understand? Can I have somebody who says, I get you? But understand this, if you're watching this, we get you. We understand, because we have walked this journey before. And we are still in this journey because because we are always asking for mercy. Let us overcome every challenge placed our way as we grow in this call and as we grow in this work. So what's the next song request or question or understanding of what is what? Please ask. You know, we are here to expand and share our understanding and give us some love. We are going to motivate and about teaching.
They want to CD.
Then Ukok Emma saying, oh my gosh, you look so much like Brenda Fassie.
Of course, a legend, right? I embody it and embrace it. I wish I could sing like Brenda though. Yo, guys.
Cool. And then Ukoko Nomtanda say, Togoza Koko, may I please request this song? My grandmother always sang this song. I'm not sure, but something like Nihlusha Umoya.
Moya
Kosamali. Zangu.
Thokoza.
Zangu. Nkosi. Ngiyaxolisa. Unifazamisa. Osami ngingelutho. Nginganazi ngingangazi. Kodwa ngihlushomo. Kosamali. Tozango. Lo nginilalela. Ngisaqashela. Ngilongisho leka. Ngibona labantwana Nkosiyami. Manje ngihlale khona. Ngilongisho. Ngihlushomo ngisho Nkosiyami. Ngiyaya Nkosiyami. Awu. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga Gogo. Ukuchazela, so guys, I don't know if you heard in the background ukuthi sithi meshaya isigubhu there's ugogo. Sibiza wonke umuntu ngogogo ngoba uhlonipha umuntu omdala uhamba nabo. So ugogo was isigubhu and then weza like her. And that's the power of drumming because it invites. It doesn't matter where you are. It's a calling forward of saying walk towards what you need to be walking towards. And ugogo uthi uhlusha umoya ulokhu ezwe isigubhu siyambiza. And you know for abangoma isigubhu it's a very important thing noma ubuye ephehlweni ulokhu ushaya isigubhu because that's the only way that the community can also get to know ukuthi kunomngoma or there's a healer in the community. That's why more goduswa when which is the graduation most kai more goduswa we need to make the drums. We have to beat the drums because we are calling forth the community in celebration of a healer born in that particular community. We're saying let us welcome and let us celebrate because now we've got one who can actually help us heal elements and complexities in which we didn't know how to, but now we are blessed as a community because one of our own left for so many months or so long and has now come back as a person who is going to gift us of wellness in that community. That's why it's important ukuthi umuntu megasuka kube khona ingoduse, and there are circumstances where people cannot be able to bagoduswe, but that's an important part because that's what we call this is kind of like some sort of verification ukuthi umuntu uhambile wayothwasa hayi ukuthi awuhambile nesting awutololoza sekubona so kanjani indumba imenja, you know those things. That's what makes people question ukuthi ngempela sibone nini basishoneni, you know, because isigubhu isimemo. Well, you know, now we live in the modern times, we create invitations and stuff like that, but isigubhu isimemo and isigubhu asibandlalula inhlobo yomuntu inhlobo yodlozi. It doesn't segregate because it calls whomever which spirit is wanting for them to be in that particular time. That's mean I love people who are not invited because those are the right kinds of people to be present in the space because it means kuamadlozi lawa siwalethe ekhaya bazimemela bona noma yibo qobo coming through as the people who have come. So because ebungomeni we appreciate everyone and as bandluli we bring everyone because we see that as a gift ukuthi idlozi lethu alikhulumi ngendlela sizoyibheka ngemihla namalanga, the multiple ways, and having a stranger come in at Gogo ngihlushwa moya isigubhu siyangiphilisa, and that's what it does. That's why if abantu in the community banomungoma and they would complain about hey the drums na abanye abacomplain ihluphe activator son ithi kuku yenza something ivusela lento makahleli lapha emhlabeni ushayelezi ukuthi yabona ishama
Makhosi ngicula yini mhlawumbe.
Cula Gogo skiphela ingoma yakho.
Wejabula mangizongena ekhaya inkonyana yethu. Wejabula mangizongena ekhaya inkonyana yethu. Siyajabula mangizongena ekhaya inkonyana yethu. Siyajabula mangizongena ekhaya inkonyana yethu. Siyajabula mangizongena ekhaya.
amanzi or as well.
Makhosi amahle. Thokozani Ndlanzi.
Makhosi siyabonga gogo.
Ngicela ukuzibika ke mina.
Thoko makhosi.
Makhosi amahle.
Makhosi.
Mina makhosi uJwaha.
Makhosi.
Ngungqika ngusibhaca ngumtika ngumazalini ngumaya. Umntaya kashiwa phela yena futhi aqala.
Makhosi.
Ngijagwa imoto egije bakhulu nazo zonke.
Makhosi.
Ngase ke ngikhula eNewcastle.
Makhosi.
Ngikhula phansi kamama wami nogogo wami kaGqeka.
Makhosi.
Ngakhula mama wazona.
Makhosi.
Ngase ke ngihamba ngase ngiyadideka endleleni. Ngashiya nje idlolo. Ngase ngihlala nje ngaba yimina ngawuthuli. Kodwa manje ngikhonjwa ekhaya.
Makhosi.
Ngicela ukuthi ningamkele mangibuyela esibayeni imvu eyodidukile. Ngicela ningibuyisele.
Yebo.
Makhosi amahle. Thokozani lokho.
Nimzwile ugogo ngithemba ukuthi nimzwile gogo kusekhaya. Muzwe isigubhu asadingi ukuthi sibuye. Sekusekhaya but edlozini akunantandani. Edlozini and that's the power of these things because
Umndawo nawushaya yini?
siyawushaya gogo ufuna sokushayela ingoma ewana amandawo. Yabona ugogo uthunyelwe idlozi. Yabona kusokuba nama requests wamandawo. But mebo
Sokumanje phela ngibone umndawo ukuthi ugija kanjani.
Hayi namhlanje gogo siyafundisa kahle kahle. We are on kwizinto lezesilungu gogo umuntu omdala. Siyafundisa sihleli uze ngolesine gogo. Mesihlela
Kodwa bangigidela ukugcina nje bakithi umndawo.
Umndawo uyahlehlwa gogo awugidwa yabona. So we'll do it. Ngicela uze Thursday. Ithi ngicedise nezimfundiso ngoba masibhekile abantu la sifela komabona kude umuntu omdala. So siyabonga gogo ucela ingoma.
Yabona begcola lana.
Yeah. So and I'm sure when you're at home, something in you evokes. That's when you're an African, irrespective of you are called to be a healer or not. But for the fact that you are here and you are here to save the planet, music and dance and the drumming and the beats are calling your heart. Mhlambe you are sitting at home and something says there's something wrong with what I'm doing. I am not meant to walk this career path because it's so totally wrong. And that's what the drum beat, it can open up truths within you. Some things can actually be revealed about your essence because it's an invitation to go to Togos. Umlethele into edrapele ngesikhwaye ebusweni phela yabona lokhu sokusebenza kangakanani. It should at least be moist. You know, so it's and that's what it does. And that's why as Africans, you know, people think we just about music and dance. There's a science to it. There's a deeper understanding to it because it really invites us to bring forth the creator in us. And once we've tapped into the Creator in us, it means we have tapped in with power within us. That's why in every single thing we did, there would be rhythm, there would be melody, because we understood that it connects us to the heartbeat. And in the heart lives truth, and in the heart lives the purest form of energy vibration. So that's why those things were important, and it made sure that we were always one and within the presence of, we're always one and within the presence of divinity. We never left the side of divinity. Every time when when we sing and dance, because every time everything we did, and music made us to pay attention to the present moment and not worry about the future that does not exist and the past that is actually no more, but is to actually make us be grateful of the gift of this moment and the time that we have, and pay attention to the gifts of what we have, versus be worried about something that happened yesterday that you cannot change because it is gone, it's no more, or something that is in the future, it doesn't exist yet. So it takes away our fears, because fear is based on what has happened and memories of the past and worries of the future, but it's not here. Your life has not ended. You're still around, right? So you are afraid to go and do this thing, because of what you've heard about how people's experiences have been. You are afraid of embracing Ubungoma because of what you think it's going to do to you. It's going to change your life. It's going to take away everything. Who said that is? Because remember, you are a unique entity of God creation, and God has created you for a uniqueness, because your uniqueness is needed to mend and amend what the world is not well within itself, and that's why you are called. So already, if you are walking and thinking your journey is like many other people, you'll never truly find yourself, because to be a healer, to be called to become a healer, is one who is called to learn how to actually, be an alchemist of one's life, how to actually transform and transcend their stones into gold. And it's not about magic here, but it's about really seeing what is possible every time you are asked to be climbing a mountain, and seeing the gift in that.
Yeah,
Umkhulu Zulu Spear, they're saying is watching all the way from UK. He continues to be inspired.
But there's just a couple of comments that are saying the video is a bit slow today, so I don't know if it's connection or whatever, but I just commented to say looking at video issues, but they now comment to say it looks fine. I just thought maybe we should address it. Yes, we're noting that. And then
also the vibrational energy, that's what vibration does. Remember, so the vibration is raising. So
there's a lot.
So it's normal, Like me. Yeah,
there's a lot. And then there's
Coco Pelokia saying goosebumps all the way from Milan. I'm homesick, but thank Coco for the live stream.
And we're gonna upload it onto YouTube and on IGTV as well, Instagram TV. We're gonna keep the stories alive, and thank God for social media. This is a positive way in which we can use it and tell our stories as Africans.
And then there's a couple of requests. Can you please sing a Xhosa song? Can you please sing a Sotho song?
Okay. I wish I knew Sotho songs. If anyone knows, the only Sotho song I know is Ki Dumela Dumela, Ki Dumela
Dumela Dumela Dumela Dumela Dumela
But teach us the songs. As to me, my voice notes, so we can learn.
Awusemncane awusemuhle.
Ngiyabonga gogo. You can clearly see there's a new friend in the building. Ngiyabonga gogo. Thank you. And by the way, it's a Xhosa song. Right? But you know, Jimmy James and says pound, don't say. You know, and we can sing. Konje, what's my favorite song? Yes, cause
Lango. What's Lango?
Umkhulu yo bemali. Wamachola, wamachola. Nqaka zomzwa. Uyalo. Ayo ayile nqaka zomzwa. Wamachola, wamachola. Ile nqaka zomzwa. Uyalo. Ayo ayile nqaka zomzwa. Umenzelo ngeliye. Ile nqaka zomzwa. Okay,
ayanda khwitsima ucela ingonyama yamabala.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Because phela sivusa abantu abanye. Hey, umangala sokunami sizosho. Hayi. Sana. That song ngonyama yamabala. Ayilali ngonyama.
So somebody has sent you love all the way from Germany. They're saying you are a unique entity of God's creation. Preach it now. Really connecting even when I'm miles away in Germany. I've had goosebumps since we started. I love you very much.
I love you too, my African people in the diaspora. We are in Germany next year. So give us a shout out. We're going to be in Germany in Feb. That's what we're doing. We're taking this world to the world. Because, you know, if you look at Africa is right, it's placed in the, I'm looking at the time because I don't want this to be cut off.
Yeah.
You know, it's
sad.
In the middle. So it means good Africa is the heartbeat of the world. And if the world can't come to this heartbeat, the heartbeat will go to the world. And that's what we're doing, right? We are taking this heartbeat because the world needs a little bit of heart right now. So many complexities, so much hatred, so much violence, so much rage, so much bitterness. It needs healing. And who else to heal it better than the mother that gave birth to them? Oh, I love you. Right?
So was
I love you. But there was another song that was requested earlier on.
Thokoza.
Right? And then what other song?
Nguwe wangenza wabanje. Apparently they had a snippet of it on Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, that one we're gonna end with it. What else is there? Is there any other request? Okay, if there's not, we're gonna do those two songs and then close. Right? Marafagutu, that's your song. Bathi tunala milisendleleni ngapha milisendleleni ngapha phela bantaba tunala milisendleleni ngapha milisendleleni ngapha phela bantaba Somebody asked for Lava Lava. That's a fun song to end this deep goosebumps moment.
Yeah.
But I want us to, sit there, with this one. And let us know if we have to do another 30 seconds live after here, we'll do it, just to end it, basic.
Shout out to the drummers out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of requests for your son to sing.
Yes.
For my son to sing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell them we're gonna end the stream because it cuts in an hour. Save it and we'll be back online for just 10 minutes for my son to sing. My son, are you ready to sing? He says he's ready to sing, so you all are gonna be having Jesus food doing all the singing. Beggy, can you please sing us the Yambo Mukobelon?
Baba Baba
away because we have less than 30 seconds.
Yep.
We're gonna just have this next round having Busiso sing different songs for us, including ending with Lava Lava. So we'll be back for the next 10, maybe 15 minutes. But if you love us so much and you want 30 minutes, you have to say, would you please be us you nicely?
Oh, there's already a request for 30 minutes.
Yeah?
There is.
Okay.
And they say like father, like son.
Like, of course, I'm
No, but like his voice.